You guys ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. And away we go. Welcome. You're listening to The Best of Investing on Talk 910. This is the show where we present valuable information about real estate, the financial markets, and other economic business of the day. And for those of you joining us for the first time, here's our format. A few guys, in this case it's two guys and a gal, sitting around a bar having drinks without the drinks, talking business with you, the audience listening in. I'm your host, Edward Brown, and I'm pleased to have as my co-host Robert Spinoza of RPM Mortgage. Mark Hanf is off today. Our phone number is 888-912-1190. Now write that number down, 888-912-1190, because you're going to use that number to answer the trivia questions for 3 vacations given away during each commercial break. That's right, we're giving away 9 vacations during this show. And the vacations are not sponsored by the radio station, but by Lighthouse Resort and Marina, which is located 1 hour northeast of San Francisco. The vacations are free. Their only request, a $75 cleaning fee to cover housekeeping expenses. Their website is lighthouse4fun.com. Check them out. You can reach them at 916-777-5511. And today's trivia theme is famous lines in the movies. So if you guys are moviegoers, then you'll probably get this. Our website is bestofinvesting.com. Check us out on Facebook and YouTube by typing Best of Investing Radio Show. And we're also on television, Comcast Channel 26 and AT&T Channel 99 on Saturdays at noon and Sundays at 6 p.m. Now today we have a special guest, Kathryn Harris, a CPA with the CPA firm of Parati and Karat.
Thank you very much for having me.
Excellent. Good. And what did you want to share with us today?
I brought a couple of topics for us to discuss.
Okay, good.
The first one I think we'll start off with is the student loans and options for those parents thinking about 529 plans, and then also maybe we can jump into discussing people who are already in college and have student loans and possible options for them and what's kind of changing on that front.
Okay, now when I went to school back in the Stone Age, in fact, my daughter and I were just teasing about that. About
Triceratops roamed the earth.
Exactly. Yeah, when we were playing, talking about playing baseball, I said, yeah, the balls were square back then. We were talking about, student loans. Now, interest rates were very high when I went to college, but I was really fortunate to get a student loan at 3%.
Wow.
Yeah, it was one of those, they just wanted to just kind of give it away.
That's good for now.
Is it good? Yeah, what are the rates now for student loans?
Their federal loans are around, I think,
6 or 7?
8%.
Yeah, see, when I was going to school, they were actually subsidizing it. Here, they're actually making money, of course, assuming people pay them back. Do you have any statistics on how many people are defaulting on their loans?
I actually don't have any statistics now, but that's where the talk is about, is whether it's going to start happening. I know it's starting to increase.
The default rate?
The default rate.
Okay, because I would have thought it would have increased a few years ago with the recession and all that.
Yeah, it's starting to. It has been kind of slowly over time. It's one of those things that they've been talking about after the home bubble. Is that what's going to be next? Is the student loan, because people are defaulting. And it's one of those things that you can't get rid of.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's sort of it's
oddly enough, they don't disclose that when you go in, when you sign up for college, and if you go into the financial office, you're kind of like, oh, here's free money. Here it is.
Exactly.
Right. What's your choice? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, sort of like if you had to have an operation, and it's like, okay, it's going to cost $800,000, but if you don't, you're going to die in about 20 minutes. You don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
Well, one of the funny things too is student loan. I see the student loan debt part of it. I don't see the origination part of it, so I don't know what necessarily happens when people go and get the loans. But I see once they're on the credit report, I see how that impacts their financial future.
Sure. And
I certainly see a lot of home buyers that come in and they've got a lot of student loan debt, and they've been managing it best they can, but now they're looking at getting on with their lives. And I think a discussion about that at the time they were taking those loans, or considering their educational options, would certainly be beneficial to a lot of people.
Well, especially when, if you're going to become a doctor or an attorney or somewhere where it's really expensive, they're coming out, out of school with $200,000 debt.
Absolutely.
I mean, how are they ever going to pay that back?
But those ones actually, you would think their income is going to meet what their expectations are. They're going to come out of college
Except
with a compensation.
if they're getting the job.
That's right.
The real key, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I see this a lot, and this is the heartbreaking part, is when people incur that kind of debt and then don't go into the field for whatever reason.
Yeah.
That's generally the problem.
Yeah.
They go in just as an undergraduate with an communications major.
Right.
And come out and they have $200,000, $150,000 of debt, and their income is $30,000.
Yeah.
I like to tell them they already bought a house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing.
Very
If
true.
they,
And it has the same terms, exactly.
yeah.
Right.
If you don't pay it off it's federal and you don't pay it off in 25 years, they actually forgive it.
No,
Exceptions, but
can we
generally,
strike that from the
Yeah,
radio
yeah,
show?
yeah. Exceptions to it, but they do in certain cases. So it's very similar to a mortgage
It's
payment.
interesting.
Well, do they? Again, going back to what I remember, is they would say you don't have to start paying it back until 6 months after you graduate. Yeah,
Yeah.
is it still the same?
Yes, depending on it, but generally speaking, yes.
And the interest didn't accrue until you got out.
And there is a caveat to that with home ownership, because a lot of times you have people, they're out of college and now they go to embark on their lives and their loans are in deferment and they think, hey, whatever, and then the lender looks at that and says, oh, wait a second, well, when will you start paying on that?
Well, and they should,
Right.
because it will hit the cash flow.
Right. But I think that speaks to the people who incur the debt as well.
And they just don't realize it. Those are the things that are just so on it. People aren't educated when they go into school, realizing what the outcome is on that side, and they don't realize that how much they're going to borrow, what's at that interest rate for 10 years, what that principal is going to be.
Yeah, when I was doing it 3%, it's a lot different than when you're borrowing at 6 or 7%, especially at 25 years.
And if they're not looking at it from that angle, forget about the tax implications.
Exactly. They don't even, they're just going in and okay, I need to go to this school. I need to, and I will sign on the dotted line and not.
Well, I'll tell you what, you know what, you mentioned 529, and we just happened to have gotten an email that was addressed generically to the show, and so I figured, well, we got someone here who can answer it.
Yeah.
And it has to do with 529 plans, and the question basically was about, what can you tell us about it with regard to, contributions and what's deductible or, the accrued or deferred taxes or tax-free,
Sure.
What can you tell us about that?
If you put the money in that is actually after tax, so it accumulates earnings and if you put the money in, you have a daughter or son, or you establish an account, you fund it over a period of years. If that money is used for education, for college, you can take distributions from those accounts and use it without having to pay taxes on the earnings.
Okay.
So that's where it's the benefit there. So it's very similar to a Roth.
Roth IRA, it's like a Roth IRA.
You pay post-tax, after-tax dollars. Earnings are tax-free.
Right.
That's
there's not too many limitations. I mean, you can have unlimited income in order to do it, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And there's a number of plans, so you're not limited to any specific one 529 plan in the specific state you are in or in the county or wherever you are. I have one for my daughters, and I think it's with Virginia.
Okay.
There are a little bit of caveats with the tax, I believe it, depending on what state you are with, there is some tax implications, minimal.
Okay. Yeah, there's also something about the ability to transfer to another beneficiary.
Yeah, I've heard about that as well.
That's what it's a nice perk about it, so that it should your firstborn.
The prodigal son doesn't go to college.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually a good point.
So you kind of start to realize what child needs it more,
Right.
and you can actually transfer it.
Well, I think we talk about this. We joke about it. Okay, but there's a lot of people. I'm one of them. I'm in this boat. I've got a 9-month-old son.
And he's ready for he's a smart guy. He's ready for
Yeah.
college now.
He does have a full head of hair already. But no, I mean, my wife and I are looking at these options, and I think, like a lot of other financial vehicles, tools, whatever you want to call them, it's just a lot of confusion that swirls around all of them. And I think people benefit from a discussion of, people know about it, and they talk about it, and they put it in frank terms. I think it helps a lot of us. I know, I'm listening to you guys talk about 529s because I need to know more about it. I find it fascinating.
Okay. And we are going to cut to our first commercial break, and here is the first trivia question. And again, the theme is famous lines in the movies. Okay, in the movie Wall Street, what actor utters the line, "Greed is good"? The first 3 callers with the correct answer win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Their website is lighthouse4fun.com. Call 888-912-1190. That's 888-912-1190 to answer this question. In the movie Wall Street, what actor utters the line, "Greed is good"? 888-912-1190. Make sure to include your name, email address, and remember to speak slowly and spell out your email letter one letter at a time. And we'll be right back.